which we have formed based on our learning. I mean, I know ये थोड़े words are complicated लगेंगे, but let me make it even more simpler. Brain जो होता है ना, human brain, it saves memory, create करता है, and ये particular case में, in this particular case, how it is, the boy could not remember that he was excited with the thought that he's going to ride a new bicycle. But when he felt that falling, injury and pain was overpowering that excitement. So next time, whenever he is asked to ride a bicycle, he will not volunteer. He will not go ahead. Why? Because he has a fear. Okay, what if I fall again? What if I get that, that pain ka emotion? He will again start feeling that pain which he would have felt years back. And this happens with everybody. Like, for example, we come across people who are very scared of, getting into new relationships. Why? Because their past relationship was not very healthy one, They had some kind of disconnect or some kind of abuse was there in that relation. And they're really scared to get into a new relationship. Why? Because the brain has captured that part. Okay, relationship means pain, abuse, and hurt. So when these things are something that is ingrained in our subconscious, you will not want to enter into something similar in future. But so these are the automated reactions of our brain and our thinking. But having said that, ये तो unconscious mind है. This is our unconscious mind. And conscious and response क्या होगा? Okay, if you have had a failed relationship in the past, not an issue. There is always a next time. There are better people in life. Not everybody is someone who will abuse you or who will not respect you. So that is a logical thinking. That is a conscious thought and a conscious effort which one needs to make. So if we go by what the reactions of our brain has already, maintained in our, because of past experiences, we will never be able to live a life happily. Same way, reactions and responses which we create today in our day-to-day life also have the same implications. We spoke about how a brain has reactions and responses as well. So now there is one more example I can give you on this is, like, for example, some people feel that if they have any ache in their body, whether it be backache or knee ache or any ache, कोई भी pain ले लो, बहुत जन की ये मान्यता होती है कि छोटी सी भी हमको कोई पीड़ा या छोटा सा भी दर्द होता है ना बॉडी में, it is a result of something serious which is going inside my body. Now what happens is, बहुत जन होते हैं, इनकी सोच होती है ये सारा अनकॉन्शियस माइंड करता है. ओके, ये कॉन्शियस माइंड हम नहीं करते हैं. तो what happens is, जब भी हम ये थॉट आता है कि छोटा सा मुझे हाथ में दर्द है, it means something is wrong with my hand. Somebody will go to the extent of thinking I will get paralysis, my hand will stop working. कुछ भी they can go to any extent. So what will happen is, they will create anxiety. Anxiety create करेंगे, and chalo, that pain subsided, but next time any other pain comes up, they will always relate it to that thought of anxiety. So anytime a pain comes up, that person will start feeling anxious. तो ये पूरा automated reaction है अपने brain का towards what is happening in our body, right? ये तो internal हो गया. So we have internal responses also, and we have internal reactions also. So when we understand how it works it will be very easy and simplified for us to understand how we react and respond in the outside world. Now, as I said earlier, response is something that is done consciously and reaction is something that is done unconsciously. Now you take one soda can, le lo, I don't have a can right here. If you shake it, what happens is, and when you open it, it could be any bottle, canned bottle, it will fizz off. So that is reaction. You take a pani ka bottle and you shake as much as you want. When you open it, it will not fizz off. It will stay calm. So what does this imply? When your mind is calm, when you are stable, when your mind is stable, you will not react, you will respond. So all the more reasons for us to stay calm and not, so that you're not reacting and you're just responding, right? And what is very important is you need to be aware of what is happening. Generally, why do we react is we react because we are in our own mood. You may be thinking about 10 different things. Today, if you see, people are just into multitasking. They just want to multitask without even concentrating on one particular thing. आज हम इतनी घाई में होते हैं कि हमें ये नहीं पता है हम क्या कर रहे हैं, बट हमको 10 काम साथ में करने हैं तो हम साथ साथ में करते जाते हैं. एंड उसमें क्या होता है, I'll give you a very classic example. A woman, a lady who is working, a working woman, okay. She has to go to work. She has to prepare lunch boxes for the husband, child, whatever, whoever in the family needs that. And at the same time, take care of the old parents or in-laws, whoever. And then at the same, when all these 10 things are going on in her mind, what happens is, if the child asks a question in middle, what will happen? She will shout, she will yell without even knowing what she's doing, right? This I'm sure you must have witnessed, or you at some point in time, you must have gone through this. Just not necessarily that the woman has to be a working woman. And it's really not constrained to a woman behaving in this way. It could be anybody. Whoever is stressed, whoever has created that extra pressure will not be able to respond. They will only react. And reacting is not something that we should ever get into, because it is not at all in our benefit. We don't know what the implications will be. Many a times, have you observed that you react in a particular way and then you realize, this is not what I meant. This is not what I wanted to do. But what happened at the spur of the moment, you just reacted. So we need to think about it, think about the implications. Now, every time when you have the opportunity or when you are required to respond or give an answer or reciprocate, I would say, reciprocate, ask the question, am I reacting or am I responding? Take a small pause, 3-second pause or a 5-second pause. If there is, let's take a work scenario and then we'll take a family scenario also. In a work scenario, in a meeting, if there is a heated discussion or argument going on, and you may be at the senior position or you may be at the junior position. Let's take the first criteria. You're the boss and your team people are talking, and they have not done things that they were supposed to do in the manner they were supposed to do. And what will you do? You will react, you will shout, you will yell. What will happen is the team morale will come down, they will not perform what they've been doing, and many people may just quit. So what was your goal? You need to ask your question. What is the goal? These incidents which are happening are just distractions in the way. Ask yourself, what is the goal? Your goal is to get the work done in a particular way. Okay, this time it did not happen. But when you talk to your team, respond. If they are asking any questions, the response or the behavior that you exhibit in a discussion with your team is something that will help you achieve the goal. So when you have these things in mind, you will automatically not react and you will only respond. I'm sure you would have understood the importance of responding as against reacting, because reacting has never helped. Now, cricket lovers, you must be very well aware of this. Sachin Tendulkar, and cricket lovers would be aware of this word called sledging. It's something like, the opponent team will come and instigate you or give you, use a language that will distract you from your main goal of, scoring runs or defeating the team or whatever the goal is. And Sachin Tendulkar, one of the Indian cricketers, is very well known for his calm state of mind. Come what may, he would not react to whatever sledging is happening around. And we can see the result. We can see what he is today, right? Same way in life, if we have to really grow and achieve something in life, we have to just ignore what others are telling us. This was just a cricket game, but in our life journey, in the game of life, what are we doing? Are we responding? Are we reacting? Most of the time we are reacting without even thinking what the implications of the reaction will be. So it's really in our interest to just slow down. Why do we react? As I said, multitasking, 10 different things on mind. So slow down. pause, take regular intervals, take regular breaks during your work. If it's a 8-hour job, after every hour, just take a 10-minute break, go for a stroll, go for whatever, listen to music, talk to a friend, whatever works for you. Take breaks, calm your mind and restart your work. Because if there is constant pressure, you will end up only in reacting and not responding. So everything is interlinked, right? Now, let us understand and evaluate how do we respond and not react. How can we do that? First and very important thing is you have to be mindful. Now, what is mindful? Being aware of the present situation. When you're aware of the present situation and not into the past or thinking about the results of the work that you are planning to do, you will be more in control of your thoughts and your behavior. That's when you will be able to actually respond, understand what the situation is, what is happening, what the other person is telling, and what is it that is something that you should be reverting back by way of a response. When you get into this state of mind, your reaction as compared to the response, the rate will definitely improve in favor of response. You will start responding in a more positive and healthy way as compared to reacting. Reacting has never helped anybody. It is not going to help you as well. And meditation also helps. When you start learn meditation, what happens is your mind becomes very calm, and the response of the fizz that slows down, and in due course it just comes. You just get rid of it. Right? And what is the next thing? We need to release the tension in a more productive way, acceptable way. Now, what do you mean by tension? As I said, if you have pressure, you are definitely going, you may want to suppress it. You may be able to suppress it for some time, 2 times, 3 times, but then one day it's going to blow out. So that also doesn't help. So if there is something that you have not liked, if there is something that has bothered you at workplace or at the home front, you express it. Don't push it below the rug. If you do that, one day it's going to blow up like a volcano, and that will be your reaction and not a response to the situation. And often what happens, when there is an argument, whether it be at workplace or home front, wherever, the point of discussion would be one small thing, that let's say, for example, coming late. Now, coming late can apply to office goers also and people at work front also, or home front also. So if the spouse wanted the husband to come at 8 o'clock and she comes at 9, same way, if the boss was expecting you at 8 o'clock and you reached at 9, so coming late. Now, coming late would be the immediate situation. But what happens is we just go out of context. What do is we make it generalized. Okay, you are coming late, so you are not punctual. You don't like to follow rules. You don't respect me. You're not bothered about the growth of the company. You're not bothered about work. You're taking work very casually. You're not serious about what you're working upon. And on the home front, you don't love me, you don't respect me, you don't value me. If you go into a very out of context discussion and argument, that's not leading, that's only going to deplete you of your energy and spoil the relation. Look at the relation, the important relations, it could be a boss and employee relation, or husband and wife, or spouse, wife and husband, whatever. So when you are reacting, you're not even looking or thinking about the relation which is at stake. So ask yourself, is this something that I am okay with? If no, then take a pledge that you will stop reacting, you will only respond. And one very small way to start this immediately is every time anything happens outside, ask the question, am I reacting or am I responding? One more question you can ask. My behavior or my reaction or my response to this particular situation, is it leading me or taking me towards my goal? Or is it helping my relation is it strengthening my relation, or is it going to break my relationship? When you keep these thoughts, when you ask these questions to yourself before opening your mouth, before behaving or before reacting, you will automatically learn how to mellow down and pause and take charge of the situation, which is very, very important. And I'll give you a very classic example. What happens is, one way is meditation and all, but again, meditation or exercise or whatever you're doing, it is a continuous process. You cannot be doing exercise today and expecting the results of it to come always. No, it doesn't work that way. So what does that mean is you have to be continuously doing that, whether it be meditation, whether it is exercise, whatever, it is a continuous process. Only then you will reap benefits. It cannot be that, one day you start meditating, the day you are reacting, you will start meditating and exercising, and it will not help you. You have to develop that stable mind, which happens over a period of time. And people who are into weight training or even some kind of heavy exercising will know this, What happens is when you take high intensity weights, what happens is your muscles becomes tense. It creates pressure in the muscles, intensity increases, and of course, in the long run, muscles are developing and they're growing, right? That's why we do heavy weight training. But what is happening is when you put heavy pressure on your hands or on your leg workout, whatever you're doing, the muscles are becoming intense. And when you're reacting, when your emotions are very intense, what is happening is you're making your muscles intense at that point in time also. When you're very angry, have you ever noticed when you are angry, your blood flow will increase, accelerate, and suddenly, you'll feel the high blood pressure or the blood rushing onto your head when you're angry. That's a reaction, right? Anger is a reaction and not a response. So when you are angry, the blood starts rushing from every part of the body to the brain. Now, what happens is, at that point in time, you may feel very much in power. But often you'll see people who are angry after a few minutes, when they calm down, they either start feeling guilty or they start crying. Because this is not something the body is comfortable. This is not something which the mind is comfortable. Also, one thing you need to notice is whenever you're reacting, now reaction could be anxiety, reaction could be fear, reaction could be anger, it could be anything. Now, try and observe when you are going through that particular emotion, you will just observe your body, On any part of your body, you will feel the sensations. Now, when you observe those sensations, you will understand that this emotion is creating tension in that part of my body. So you can relate, the physical exercise part and this part. When you pick up heavy weights, there is pressure on that, and the muscles of that particular hand or leg will become tense. Similarly, when an emotion is arousing, when you have upheaval of a negative emotion, your muscles in a particular part of your body become tense. So you can understand how much damage it is creating, and these blockages, end of the day, will result into some kind of physical blockages, which science has proved. So it is just not reacting and responding, taking it in a mere sense, like, okay, what am I reacting or am I responding? Look at the complications or implications of internal reaction and internal response that your body is going through. When you look at these with a very holistic, in a bigger way, you will understand that how important it is for you to calm down and start responding to everything in life, just not an interaction, even to yourself, to your emotions also. For example, if you are creating fear, anger, or anything, ask. If you're frustrated, ask yourself, what is this frustration about? Why is it? What is the reason? Can this be resolved? Can this be, answered? You will have answers for everything. It's just that you are in a rush to complete or finish something, and which is where you are just ending up reacting everywhere. And also ask yourself, whenever you're in a situation where you are reacting, ask yourself, what fear or what assumption do I have? Sometimes what happens, in a work scenario, people just react. They shout, yell, or, they have a heated argument. They give names and blame games, etc., happens. So ask yourself, why is this reaction coming out? Is there fear? Is there insecurity? Are you insecure from that person at whom you are shouting? Identify those thoughts, those feelings. When you have identified, answer them, that there is nothing to be scared of. You are not going to lose your job. Or if it is a project that you're handling, tell yourself, if this project is not meeting the deadlines, you're not losing your job. There is nothing more important than your health, right? So try and ask these questions as in whenever you come across such situations, where you come into that fight flight scenario. And human brain is very clear, it has developed responses for flight, flight and freeze. Or in some situations you will feel, you just want to run away. There are people, when any challenging situation comes in life, they just get into a shell, they just run away, they can't confront. Now that is, the brain is protecting them. The brain also, the core responsibility of a human brain is to protect us. So when they feel that this challenge which has come in life is something not in our control, not in our power, they will just shut down, they will just run away. So the brain is trying to protect that particular person. And some people just freeze, they just can't talk anything, they just can't say anything. That is also a way the brain is protecting us. And some people outright, they fight. They go ahead and conquer and win. But that is again, different people have different ways of handling situations and challenges. And often it is observed, when it comes to more into personal relationships, what happens is there is yelling and crying and emotional outburst and all. And when I say yelling, crying and all, these are nothing but the reactions, right? They are reactions. You're not responding. If you had a argument with your spouse, what happens is you're yelling at him or her, or you're crying because he or she has spoken to you or behaved with you in a particular way. So ask yourself, what is the expectation that you have from that relation? Have a communication with that person. What is it that you want? Also, at the same time, check, is that person capable of meeting with your expectations? Okay. If not, are you both willing to come halfway? Meet halfway and still go ahead peacefully on this relation. Otherwise, these outbursts or these emotional attacks or these reactions will be very often will be very frequent, and it's not helping your relationship. So when you come across some such situations or some such challenges, or if you're aware of people who are going through this kind of upheaval in their personal life, they need to take a pause, understand, set their expectations right. Okay, this is what it is. In this particular relation, this is what is possible. Then ask yourself, are you okay with this? If yes, continue. If you're not able to accept what is possible, and if you're not comfortable comfortable with what the other person is able to give, take a decision, because choice is always yours. Recognize that you always have a choice. You are never pushed into any relationship. You are never pushed into reacting. You are never pushed into doing anything that you don't want. So take charge of it. And always remember, even whatever worst situation also, you have the choice of how you will respond or react. It could be a very bad argument. You have a choice. If you value that relation, you will keep quiet. You will not react. You will hear the other person. And maybe after a few days, let the other person know, okay, what you did was not something I was okay with. Let's look at it in a different way. Let's look at different perspectives, how the same situation can be handled. But again, if you don't make that choice and you just choose to react, if one person is yelling, shouting, you also get into the same thing. Yelling, crying, shouting, whatever it is. What will happen? Everything will be finished in that particular discussion. So understand, again ask that question, how important or how critical it is for me to continue with this, or how important is this relation for me, or how important is this goal for me. I mean, very often it happens, we set goals for ourselves, and there will be so many distractions, so many challenges, so many things happening around, because people in life and circumstances are never our way, which means that every time a person doesn't behave the way we want, we will react. We will either get angry, we will either get frustrated, we will either shout, we will yell, or we will create anxiety. Is this something that you're okay with? Is this what will help you reach the goal faster? Definitely no. So in the journey of life, whenever you have challenges or situations, you always have a choice, whether you want to react to it, whether you want to respond to it. And it is always advisable to respond and not react. React, as we all know, reactions within ourselves, within our body also, they're very harmful, and outside also, it is just not helping us grow as a person. So it's always advisable that we take charge, we take responsibility of the thoughts and emotions are going on, slow down, make exercising, meditation, these practices as part of a routine, and start living in the present. Living in the present is very important. Now, when I say living in the present, just doesn't mean you live today and you start behaving as if there is no tomorrow, eat, drink, party today, and we are living in the present. No, that's not living in the present. Living in the present is be aware of what is happening around you. Just not today's, don't live as if today is the last day. No, that's not living in the present. Living in the present is be aware of what is happening, be aware of what is happening in your mind, be aware of the feelings and the thoughts and emotions you're going through. When something is happening outside, what is the thought coming? What is the emotion coming up? And have an internal dialogue before you give your response or before you react. Again, it's the same thing, right? React and response. It's a small difference. React is something coming on an automated mode, and response is something that you thoughtfully come up with. So stop reacting and start responding to life as a whole. It's just not a situation or a challenge or a person. When you start responding, when you start living in the present, you will see that the quality of life has improved to a next level. You will be leading a much happier and healthier life. So friends, I would say that it is important that you all, now I wouldn't call this as art of responding, or it is a skill. Why? Though the topic is art, but if we call this as a skill can be developed, right? Art also can be developed, no doubt, but take it as a skill, responding as a skill which you will work on a daily basis and develop it to a next level, so that you don't regret whatever you've done in your life. When you have no regrets in your life, there'll be no guilt, no negative thoughts, no negative feeling. You will eliminate negativity from your life when you start responding, when you think through it, without, just don't open your mouth anywhere and everywhere. Just pause. If required, count those 10, 5, 10, 9, from 10 to 1 you can count, or take a 3-second break, just count 3. Or ask some simple questions to yourself before you open your mouth to reply. When you start doing these, make these small changes in your daily habit, you will see a very big difference coming up. Now, as everybody says, one small step can lead you to the goal that you want to reach. Same way, one small step every day, one small step you take to work on yourself, things that you really want to improve on. So this could be one of the 10 things on your list. Start learning how to respond and not react. If not, write it down. Make it one of your component of your list, the changes that you want to make in yourself for a healthier and happier life. Yeah. Friends, if you have any questions, you can always connect with us on Pankhuri platform, or I am also present on LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram. Or any questions pertaining to today's session, you can message here and the same will be responded. And have a great evening. See you soon. Bye-bye.